You already know. As one Crookshank, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker, checking in for a daily Move Swiftly thought, giving you a perspective on teamwork that you will not get anywhere else. Man, that one felt great. That one felt great. It's different. Past two nights, I'll be 100% honest with you guys. Past two nights have not had, barely. If I was to total the hours of sleep, the past two nights, not including this one, past two nights, it might have gotten 3 total hours of sleep in 2 nights. I was dealing with some shit mentally that I can't even begin to tell you about it. And at some point, I'm sure it will come out. But just mentally, I was up for reasons that I will not disclose at the moment. But last night, actually, I finally it felt like I made up for all those hours of sleep. I took two magnesiums this time to make sure I really got it out and slept through. She missed a pretty important phone call when I woke up. I'll be calling you back and all that. So, but I did get a good amount of sleep, and you can tell in the run this morning because absolutely crushed these 8 miles. Just absolutely smoked it to the point where I feel like I could go another 10 miles if I wanted to, because mentally I was there. Everything was on point. All right. So as far as today's Move Swiftly thought, I'm gonna keep it right there, because when you talk about your mental health, when you talk about doing things for you, doing things that are gonna make it so the personal problems and your professional problems and all the things that bother you or make it so you do lose sleep at night, doing things that are going to help you cope with those things, that's incredibly important. For me, it's speaking on camera, public speaking, recording my shows and recording the podcast, and just being someone that develops the authenticity behind camera and being recording and doing my recordings and things like that. But also, as you guys know, especially since it is a Saturday, I'm recording this Saturday, I believe it's April 12th, 2025. You guys know every single Saturday I do something called Film Session Saturday. Film Session Saturday is to be this week. Today is going to be the beginning of the breakdown of the Notre Dame taking on Indiana game, the first playoff game this past year of 2025. College football playoffs of 2025. So that'll be debuting at probably about 2 or 3 hours from this recording. I believe I have it set for 9 a.m. And just yesterday, I was at FAU, Florida Atlantic University, watching the spring football game, and they had it, Friday Night Lights. They had a nice setup there. It was just an amazing atmosphere, to the point where I just went to today's Move Swiftly thought, I'm going to walk you through the entire the entire experience, and understand how the work you put in today, you never know how it's going to connect tomorrow. Let me say it again. The work you put in today, the things you do now, everything that you've laid out now, and you put your money and you put your time and you've invested whatever the hell it is you're going to invest in it, you just simply never know the way it pays off tomorrow and the next day. All right. So one of the main reasons, the main goals for me to go to this game was because, as some of the regular consumers know, my goal is to become a play-by-play announcer for college football games as of 2025. So again, I'm in the place to be. I'm in the Mecca. The reason I live in South Florida, the reason I decided to move to South Florida was because of the football atmosphere and the football culture that it breeds. It breeds football out here, breeds youth football, breeds high school, college football. This is where it's at. This is exactly where it's at, right? So I go to FAU, and the first thing as I'm walking, now it was free admission. It was something that they put on for the community, for the school and things like that. So as I'm walking to the stadium, I noticed a company, Eat Better, Live Better, all right? Started and ran by Deborah Tendrich. I think it is. I believe she's a congresswoman now. She's a state representative now, so I think she's spending some time in Tallahassee getting that worked out. But she was on my podcast, and she runs the company Eat Better, Live Better, and they had a connection with the university where they accepted, I believe they accepted a $1,000 check because they did like a community drive where people brought in their food and their groceries. And, again, she's been on this very podcast. She's been on the show. If you go to the episode, I believe it is titled Eat Better, Live Better. She did an episode with me about 2 years ago, and it was a fantastic episode. Every single mother out there who struggles with their weight or struggles with how they're going to feed their kids and things like that. Listen, she said it on the show. She said stuff that I repeat to this day, because she was talking about how we're always rewarding kids with junk food. We're always rewarding kids with cupcakes, candy, and all this other nonsense. And, you know, she's like, why do we do that? Why do we ruin kids' lives and ruin the way they eat? Because they associate junk food with rewarding them. And my school does it all the time. It absolutely drives me crazy when I see it, to the point where whenever I say it, I get blown off, I get brushed off, and it is so frustrating, because you have people like that in my network. I have people like that on my show. And she's so right. She reversed a disease that her daughter had some sort of a medical condition, and because of the way she started cooking the food and what she started putting in her food, she was able to heal her daughter and all that. Again, go listen to the episode. It's it was an absolute banger, right? So that's the first company I see as I walk into the stadium. And then again, I go in, whenever I go to these events, I go in with the intention of making a connection. So when I finally got to the game, I noticed that there were people doing the play-by-play. There were people doing exactly what I want to be doing at some point at these games. And I shake the person's hand, and he gives me a name, and he gives me a person to in fact, no, before I even got there was a marketing team at FAU that I asked them about. So how do I do the play-by-play? They gave me a website. They gave me a name, somebody I'll be reaching out to. And then on top of that, the person I was doing the play-by-play was with Fox Sports 640, and he was telling me, hey man, just keep doing what you're doing. He goes, look, I tell people all the time, because he's been obviously more seasoned in the game. So here's how it worked. I was watching the game next to him, and then I heard him, make a couple announcements and, kind of catch people up on what was going on in the game. And I asked him how he got into it, and then he tells me, yeah, he used to do it in college, and then, he was giving me, there's a broadcast school, a journalism, this, that, and the third. And I told him, look, I'm on YouTube, right? I have all the film stuff on YouTube, and, people can go look it up, and if they like it, they like it. I already do that. And he looked at me and goes, look, hey, that's exactly what I tell people. I tell people all the time now, with YouTube, with social media, with all this stuff going on, just, put your resume on the digital platforms, on the internet, so people can look it up, because and they're able to see if you're about it. They can give you some critique. They can give you some opportunities, all that kind of stuff, right? And understand that, and I'll close you out just with this concept, is very few people are voluntarily public speaking. I believe it's public speaking and death, or death and public speaking are somewhere in the vicinity of the top fears of most people. So when it comes to me pursuing doing something in public speaking, that's where the opportunity lies. Understand, opportunity is always going to be lying in the opposite. So whatever the majority of people are doing, whatever normal, 36-year-olds or normal people are doing, you got to be doing the opposite of those things. And that's where the opportunity starts to come. Opportunity lies in the opposites. And I'll close you out with that concept. All right. All that being said, having a fantastic Saturday. I know I'm going to be having a great one. Got the boxing class in a couple hours, so we'll be doing that as well. Main website, however, to check out to dive deeper into everything I'm doing, it's makeyourmove.com. That's makeyourmove.com. One-stop shop for your teamwork and your self-development needs. As one Crookshank, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker. Checking out. You guys continue to move swiftly. We will talk more soon.